And you got myself and my number, so reach out or come into the office.
Okay. Yeah, I couldn't think of it. Order that. Well, it's gotta be because it's big.
I know you said you will.
That drugstore.
All right, council, can we get those mics green? We are at 30 and we need to kick off our council meeting this evening. Clerk Tomasic, are we looking good from an AV point of view?
1 second.
Right.
Yeah, we are at 6:31.
All right, I'm good.
All right, with that, our audio and visual is up, and please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, to all of those here in the council chambers, as well as to those tuning in via our different broadcast options, good evening. I'd like to welcome you to our city council meeting. And with that, Clerk Tomasic, can you please call roll?
Schumate?
Here.
Cox?
Here.
McNabb? Here. Molnar? Valentine?
Here.
Walden?
Here.
Wood? Here.
Council members, would there be a motion to excuse absent member Councilman Molnar?
Motion to excuse Councilman Molnar. Second.
Second by Valentine. Any discussion? Clerk Tomasic, whenever you're ready, we'll have you call roll.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood? Yes.
Council, with that, we have our operating group, and we will dive into approval of the agenda. Council, beyond the published agenda and members of public, the agenda that you would see in front of you, we did have two additional requests that came in. I'm only asking for one of them to be placed on the agenda. The two addition requests were a letter of resignation from the Board of Review from Mr. Grant. That was shared with you via email. So let's start with that one. I would ask for a motion to add the letter of resignation from Board of Review from Mr. Grant to item A as communications. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Cox. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Any discussion on that matter? I just want to thank Mr. Grant for his service. From what I can understand, this is related to an individual who will be running for office, and there's some guardrails related to your representation on the board relative to your run for office. So, Mr. Grant, thank you for your service in that capacity from my point of view. Any further discussion on this matter? Clerk Tomasic will have you call roll whenever you're ready.
McNabb?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood? Yes. Cox?
Yes.
That motion is carried. The second item that was requested to be added was related to new tires and oil service requirements for our senior van. But council members of the administration will be taking care of that offline as they gather more information, so we don't need to add that to the agenda this evening. With that, we now have a revised agenda with item A, letter of resignation under communications. Is there a motion to approve agenda as revised?
Motion to approve the agenda as revised.
Motion by Walden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Wood. Council, any further discussion on our agenda this evening? Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood? Yes. Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Motion carried. With an approved agenda, we'd love to turn it over to the floor of our public. Members of public, this is your time for comment. We also have another public comment before we close. So if you have any comments for council, please approach that podium. Make sure that light is green and state your name and address. I'm not seeing any public comment at this time, but if you choose to, we have another public comment before we close this evening. With that, it will bring us to our consent agenda. Council, in your packet, and members of the public in front of you, you have items A through D on our consent agenda. Council, is there a motion to approve consent agenda items A through D?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Walden. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Wood. Council, any discussion on this matter? Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood? Yes. Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Motion carried. With that, we will turn to our communications, for which we had the addition of item A, letter of resignation from Mr. Grant from Board of Review. Council, will there be a motion to receive and file this letter of resignation?
Motion to receive and file the letter of resignation from Mr. Grant.
Motion by Valentine. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by McNabb. Council, any discussion on this matter? Beyond our gratitude for Mr. Grant for his service, council, we will be bringing back to you in an upcoming meeting additional appointment considerations. Since that's a critical board of review as it relates to taxes on our residents, we want to make sure that we have representation from our community. So stay tuned. And to members of public, beyond the applications that Clerk Tomasic already has, if there's any members of our public that wish to serve in a board of review capacity, please feel free to reach out to anybody up here. Clerk Tomasic included. All the email addresses are on our website, and you can always come in and fill out an application directly in person at City Hall. With that, Clerk Tomasic, may you please call roll?
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes. Motion carried. Council, that will take me to my report this evening. Council, in my packet for you all, we have a variety of items. I have two on our agenda formally. One is our part-time DPW position posting. I want to open up with a huge shout out to our DPW team, and especially in context of our discussion today, Ellen and Caden. Ellen and Caden have been absolutely phenomenal contributors to our community. Through their work in our DPW, through their work in the firefighter department, it's been all in contributions, and I'm just incredibly grateful for Ellen and Caden. So I hope we all echo that sentiment. With that being said, we need to hire two new part-timers because Ellen and Caden are transitioning to the next chapters of their career journeys. A special shout out, Fire Chief Simon, please feel free to comment from your end. But I know that not only with their schooling and continued education related to paramedic and broader career trajectory considerations, they're also obviously working with broader fire departments in the downriver community. They got a lot on their plate, and it's time to make sure that they can fully have their attention on those items. So Fire Chief Simon, anything else you want to add?
No, we'd just like to thank them for their dedication and their commitment to the city of Gibraltar and their dedication to the fire service in general.
100%. So council, what I'd be looking for is a motion from you to authorize the posting to backfill those two part-time positions. I know John has been working to make sure we have that post prepared. We've hired for this position before. The good news is the seasonality, we're starting to temper down in the workload as we exit summer, sadly. So it's a manageable transition, but we need to authorize those two posts to continue.
I make the motion. Is that just two people that we're getting?
Yeah,
We-
two to
we already
replace
have
Ellen and Caden.
one. Yeah, we still have another new guy.
We still have one guy.
Okay, yeah.
So
I
this would
make
be a
that
backfill, so a one-for-one exchange on the backfill of that position.
Second.
Motion by Wood, second by Valentine. Council, any discussion on this matter, please?
I'd like to make a motion to seat Councilman Molnar.
We're in an active motion, so if we
Oh,
can
we're in
close
an
this one,
okay.
then we can.
That's why I was
we can
hoping-
do that.
okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Any further discussion on this matter? All right, Clerk Tomasic, please call a roll.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Motion carried. Ellen and Caden, thank you again for your service to this community. John and Clerk Tomasic will work on the posting, and then council, you'll have candidates that you'll have to consider for that part-time position fill. Next item on my list is related to the cell tower topic. Councilman Molnar and I had a meeting last week on that topic, so we'll keep council appraised at the evolution of that topic. I expect that it'll be on a future agenda for your consideration. Just want to make sure you're in the loop there every step of the way. Next item, I'm going to lean in on Treasurer Fonte for some support here because I want to make sure that we can have a discussion with council related to some deep dives we've had recently. And Councilman Cox obviously has been very close to this matter, but at a high level to kind of paint the picture in what I put in your packet, as we transitioned our engineering services away from Rains to AEW as our interim engineering service, and as we transitioned our water license away from Rains and to Benesh and Zane specifically, it's allowed us to take some really good inventory on the operation. And in that inventory, we found some areas that need to be improved. And it was a coincidental area that needed to be improved when Wayne County had reached out to us, the Director of Public Services of Wayne County, asking about stormwater control and detention and other aspects of our local operation in partnership with the county. I got the request in my inbox. I immediately forwarded it to Treasurer Fonte, Councilman Cox, Benesh, our water license holder, because I had a time-bound date of September 5th. The good news is that I feel very confident in the experts we have in Benesh who deep dove on this topic immediately and were able to garner a lot of information, help us prepare for our response to the county. And so that's the blessing. The bad news is that this is an area of deficiency that was not appropriately prepared for over time, and led us to have to incur a cost to meet this Wayne County imposed deadline, and frankly, to wake up the bigger picture of this topic and the detailed needs from both a water license and an engineering perspective. That was just not in place, bluntly speaking. So, with that, we have costs that we have to incur on this topic. We did meet the deadline to respond to the Director of Public Service, so thank you. Shout out to Zane, shout out to Treasurer Fonte, shout out to everybody that played a critical role in that. But I'm coming to you with a high-level synopsis. Treasurer Fonte's been close to this, and he's obviously got a little career experience in this lane. So Treasurer Fonte, anything you want to add for color beyond what I summarized?
No, Mayor, you covered it pretty good. I think what's in front of you is a request not to exceed $35,000 for this investigation. It's not only an investigation, it's a requirement. We've been deficient in our reporting of our detention basins, and given with the assistance of Benesh Infrastructure Committee and DPW, we've identified approximately 22 detention basins within the city that are either under the jurisdiction of the city or the property owner, which then requires us to maintain, either self-maintain them or have the property owners maintain them to make sure that they're draining properly and so on and so forth. However, this also leads to the bigger picture, and that's the ditch lines and the relief of stormwater in our city through our ditches, through Wayne County ditches. And Benesh has now recognized the impediment of the ditch lines and the lack of maintenance and preparation from the county on that to get us positive drainage. So all this is going to take place within this reporting and this investigation. But in a nutshell, it is 22 basins. Some of them belong to the Superfund, approximately maybe 5 to 6. They were unable to get in there to make that investigation. They weren't allowed in there, so we gave them the EPA contact number to see if they have to have an escort in there to do that. But they'll have to do surveying and check the outfalls on them, the infalls, and make a detailed report to Wayne County. So from, I think, what was previously reported in 2016 of 4 basins, we're at 22 basins.
Precisely. Before we get any further, can we also get a motion to seat Councilman Molnar, please?
Motion to seat Councilman Molnar.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, look at that. Ladies first, maybe?
I got Cox.
All right. Any discussion? And Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Wood,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
McNabb,
Yes.
Mulner,
Yeah.
Schumate,
Yes.
Valentine.
Yes.
Walden.
Yes.
All right, so Treasurer Fonte, thank you for the synopsis there. So with that being said, Finance Director McEwen's been consulted, is looking at with the savings that we're on a path to realize in the broader water lane. The challenge is that accounting-wise, you have to classify these, and so this is not likely to fall under the ability to cover that with our water license savings, and thus would probably be a general fund occurrence. Is that a correct synopsis?
Yes.
Great, so the short synopsis for you all is that the good news is we have experts that leaned in and have helped us uncover something that was deficient. The bad news is it's gonna cost us money, and the reality is there's nothing we can do about it. It's an absolutely essential requirement. So with that being said, Finance Director McEwen, would you like perhaps a motion from council to authorize this for your sake of financial authorization? How would you like to make sure this is handled appropriately for your financial lane?
I just need them to authorize the not-to-exceed amount of the $35,000 so that when we get the invoice, we're okay to approve it.
Great. So council, all this information's in your packet. I tried to be high level to summarize that for you. Unfortunately, it's a situation that was deficient and needs to be addressed, and we're on the path to addressing it. So council, we need to authorize up to $35,000 to support Benesh, according to the paperwork in your packet, to complete this activity around stormwater.
Is it 35,000 or 32,000?
Not to exceed.
Is it up to 32,000, Amy, or 35,000?
It says 32,000 by October 1st, 2025.
Sorry, I don't have it in front of me,
You're okay, I
so.
just wanted to clarify, that's all.
Yeah, then if it's up to 32,000, then please make sure that motion reflects that up to 32,000 language. Council, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Wood to authorize up to $32,000 for Benesh's partnership on the stormwater request from the county.
Second.
Second by McNabb. Council, any discussion on this matter?
I've got some questions on
Yeah,
this.
please.
With our previous engagement that just ended with Rains, is this something that would have fallen into their responsibility to cover for us? Is this an administrative responsibility of your office? Where did we drop the ball as an organization?
Treasurer Fonte, do you have any read on that?
I think it lays in the hands with the, it lays in the hands with the engineer you charge with the responsibility of that. You got to remember that the plans were reviewed in the planning commission department, so there was always a plan scope that was always, when you look at the properties, they all had to run through the planning commission. They all, from there, they go to Rains for submittals and revisions. Rains knows what the laws were, and they know that they have to work with Wayne County on specific drainage things. So when you get a approved package that comes out of the planning commission and gets forwarded to the contractor, all these plans are in there, and then from that point on, it should be recorded. So somewhere in that process, it wasn't recorded. Why it wasn't recorded, I can't imagine. One thing that you'll note that if there's 22 of these, and let's say we own half of them, the onus of that maintenance becomes ours, and we can pass that maintenance cost along to whoever that property owner might have been, or, you know, for future passover. But in essence, it's a cost affixed to that. So maybe there was a reason that it wasn't reported for that reason. I have no idea.
So a couple of questions on that. When you say recorded, recorded with who?
I would imagine that through the, there's a couple things going on here that I'm not that much educated on either. We have the downriver, what do you call that, the AW? They file our permit. This was news to us. They file our MSW4 permit. Don't know why, but we pay an association fee of around, I think, $9,000 to $10,000 a year to belong to this association. Councilman McNabb and I we're still going back and forth on what purpose this serves, but the way Benesh spoke of the ADW was that it's an association that takes the mandates from the DEQ and passes it through the association to where they distribute the mandated brochures and the mandated public community involvement details. They handle all that, but it's things that need to be addressed and handled per MDEQ responsibility. So that's why I guess we belong to the association. But other than why it wasn't reported or why it isn't on file, it kind of goes along with a lot of different things that we're uncovering in our charge right now. There's either no files or there's no pathway to a file to find any of this. Everything it turns into a deep dive investigation through a lot of different means and methods to find some of these things. We don't have what I would call a central holding file for any of these mandates. They would either lie in the responsibility of your city and manager, and how they file it is up to anybody's purview on that. So it's a part of an internal control problem.
And that's kind of what I was getting at in terms of, is it the hired engineer's responsibility to know that these things are coming on an annual or periodic basis for inspection and reporting, or is it incumbent upon somebody in the management position of the organization to reach out to the engineer and say, hey, get ready for the annual inspections.
So DEQ or MDOT on our bridges would answer it this way. You engage whoever you want, you engage the engineer, but the onus is on you as the city. So however you want to manage it, but if you fail to abide by the obligations, it's not on the engineer, it's on you. So the same thing occurs on, like, the Young Street Bridge, even though there's a faulty design involved there. MDOT says, that's not my problem, that's what you submitted, that was your engineer, problem's on you. Same thing here, depends on how you handle your processes and internal controls, not only financially here, but now we have operational issues. I'm sure John is going through the same thing at the DPW, trying to find things and connect dots too. I know we have that kind of issue even at the infrastructure meeting when these kind of things come up. So it's going to get better, but it's things like this that cost money to launch it the right way.
So it's just poor record keeping and poor organizational skills that we're addressing and dealing with.
Yeah, I would put it like Plant Moran would put it, processes and controls, lack of.
And so this is one of the questions that I had proposed we ask our applicants for the city administrator, is when we have department heads that are contracted out to contracted services, professional services, like the engineer, like the building department, like the assessor, all these things that are chartered positions for us as department heads, we hire them out to different organizations, and we just hope they do what they're supposed to do. We don't bring it all together. When we ask these questions to our applicants for this, for the management position, what we're trying to get to is that these vendors that we're hiring for convenience, we need to tell them what we want from them, and we need to, when something goes through the planning commission, we can't just go through a Tuesday night, walk away and go, the person from McKenna was there, so that's all handled. It obviously, it needs to go from the planning commission to the engineer, and you would expect the planner from McKenna to hand it over to the engineer from whatever organization that we're hiring at the moment, but they don't talk. The planner doesn't talk to the engineer. The planner talks to the city administrator talks to the engineer. And that's a gap that is like hugely identifiable here, and it's a big time issue. Where did you find the 22? Is these all from aerial maps?
Well, for me, I just went on Google and Apple and did a flyover and identified.
22?
And then John Zont pulled out the 2018 or 2017 CIP capital improvement program that Fishback and Rains put together. And there's overviews of that, and the detention ponds are all identified there.
Okay.
So, John brought in his information, I brought in my information, Banesh brought in their information. We looked back at the last application, and, I think we went from 4 or 6 that were identified to 22 now.
And my instinct tells me that if those are only ponds, how many underground retention systems do we have that are not identifiable via, aerial?
Well, we know of 2 because recently we all experienced them going in at the storage there on Vreeland. Other than us knowing, by default or as contractors that review bid, I think that's the only 2 that I know of in town, but there could be others. So Banesh is going to try to deep dive on that also and eventually get our inventory. But what we don't have, and something that council is going to have to look at, it's important, not only on your financial and for internal controls, but operationally here, you're going to have somebody that either going to have to work with your designated engineer to find out what are our annual responsibilities, or what do we have to submit every year? Are we being redundant? Do we need the downriver watershed to file our permits? And we didn't know that. I didn't know that. And Benesh didn't know it until, we trip over it. So, everything is kind of like new to a lot of people here. Maybe it's old news to someone else, but we have no record of it. And so that was part of the legacy that I think we all wanted to leave, that we have controls and processes that can bypass November elections, that it continues and operates fully and independently of whoever's in the seat.
Have we discussed with Benesh to review the maintenance agreements that are normally associated with these detention ponds? There's usually a
That's what,
formal document that's required.
right, that's what they're trying to acquire the record keeping on, because that's going to dictate, some of them they know that we own by default, like the ones in Island Estate. They assumed Island Estate was owned by an association. We had to tell them that it wasn't. And so the two that are in Island Estate are ours. The school has four or five. That, they're going to have to be notified on, and, if there's fault with those and drainage issues and that, and they'll have to take care of that. But, recently, this council accepted the obligation of the external detention center at the Vreeland storage. You guys, you had the attorney review it, and there was a service agreement that in case the owner didn't maintain that pond to the specifications of Wayne County and the DEQ, that we would maintain it and charge them. And so recent education on that would tell you that that's the same things that are happening with these other ponds. So, but the better news is that these ponds all have to lead into a ditch or a creek or something. And Benesh is telling us right now that they're not flowing well, which gives, the mayor and council an avenue to talk with Wayne County about getting some positive work done here. That is in essence what happened with this north detention basin. That's why you have on a prime piece of property, you have a detention basin, which they call a forebay, that is taking water from Wayne County, and under our obligation, we signed an obligation that we would take over the stormwater from Wayne County and remove it. I've seen the obligation now as we've done this deep dive. So somehow we felt it was important that we take over Wayne County drainage and move it at our expense over into the Marina District, when in fact it was supposed to flow southbound to the Franken-Poet drain.
Yep.
So there's a lot of education that's going to go on here, and we're not going to have some of the answers of the past, and if we do get some of them, they're not going to be probably to anybody's liking, but at least it's going to give an education to this council and this mayor to be able to approach Wayne County with some approachable information.
Well, we're being asked to consider the $32,000 expense just to provide the audit and get all the information that Wayne County needs. There's going to be, I presume, there's going to be additional expenses just looking at some of these retention ponds. You talk about the ones in Island Estates. There's no question that they're going to require probably extensive maintenance, and so the expenditure is going to be significantly larger than $32,000 when it's all said and done, I think.
Well, I think you're right, and again, this kind of brings us back to our infrastructure committee, because when John brought in the spreadsheet of, I think there was 2 significant pages of details on that spreadsheet, that, the proposal was it's a $25 million capital improvement program in 2017. We're going to nip at it at so many dollars each year. We've done a little nip, but not a lot of a nip on it. We're, in John's position, I don't want to speak for him, but as the committee looked at it, we should be advancing forward on that CIP program. That's going to involve a lot of detail with Amy, cost-wise and forecasting-wise and budget-wise on how we're going to do that. You're going to have a millet that I think is expiring. That's going to have to be talked about. And now you're going to have this expense operationally to maintain certain detention systems around here. So I think once some of this stuff gets rounded out, especially this one, even with our water meters and once we get these kind of details rounded up, I would encourage council to have a special meeting to talk about these details. because DPW is going to need some direction on how to speak with our engineer and how to head in advance in the CIP program, along with all these other additional services that we have to provide and not have enough money to do it. So that's going to be the challenge. It always was the challenge, the infrastructure here, but now as we dive deeper and we get a little more intelligent on it, and we're getting cost involved with it, we're going to know a little bit better.
Do we know the last time that we did submit a report to Wayne County for this?
It was 2016,
16?
yeah,
Was that under Rains?
yes. That's the information I got from Banesh on it, so I think I'm pretty right on that, but as of our meeting Friday, that was, because I asked the same thing.
Thank you.
How often is it due? Is it like, is it?
I think it's an annual review. I mean, once you get the paperwork and it's working and it's right, it's just an annual review. It gets submitted up to the DEQ.
Yeah. Great discussion. Look, I will just say, as I led with, that I've been very refreshing to have the expertise of Zane and others in Banesh to help support the inventory taking on a topic that clearly needed to be addressed.
So one good thing, let me say this, Mayor, what I'm seeing right now, you've got Fishback on one project, you got Banesh on another one, you got AEW, you've got a multitude of real good engineering firms. Now, I know AEW, we've got to get the RFP out for engineering, but whatever you do in the future, when you kind of divide this pot up with different problems, we got Collins with the bridges. It gives you expertise in each one of these fields, and it doesn't need to be piggybacked off for another engineering firm. These are all independent people. They don't need any other engineers to help them. If they do, they're in a pickle, or we're in a pickle if it needs some outside consulting. But it's been pretty refreshing to see some of the responses in the consulting we're getting from them, the expertise we're getting from them, and they're not really afraid to speak their piece on where our deficiencies are and what should have been done, and what's causing some of these things, and so on and so forth. But again, it's a process, and unfortunately, it costs money.
Thank you for putting all your time, all of the time that you do put, I should say, into helping us unravel this. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Well said. Council, any further discussion? Clerk Tomasic, whenever you're ready, we'll have you call roll, please.
Cox.
Yes.
McNabb.
Yes.
Mulnar.
Yes.
Schumate.
Yes.
Valentine.
Yes.
Walden.
Yes.
Wood.
Yes.
Motion carried. I will make sure we work with Banesh to advance that. Finance Director McEwen, thank you for your support on that, and council will keep you appraised every step of the way. Next item on my list is time card policy. Council, just a heads up, we have a meeting with the union on September 11th. One topic we'll cover is the time card policy draft, so I expect that you'll have a time card policy on your agenda for the second meeting of September. Any questions, comments, concerns? All right, next up, council, we talked about this last meeting. Want to make sure we could drive a decision this evening around our council-based appointment of the next Planning and DDA Commission member. Just a couple thoughts from me that relate to your packet info. Clerk Tomasic, thank you for posting the position to make sure we had an opportunity for our members of the public to put themselves forth. Council, it's landed two applicants, Mr. Nickel and Mr. Dix. Just some data points for me and council, the motion would be in your court. I'm recommending Mr. Nickel for the commission appointment. My why is threefold. One, I think his experience and expertise as detailed on your packet and his longstanding presence in the community and understanding the community needs. Two, his professional, I would say, candor and interaction that I've been able to firsthand experience. And three, I spoke with the commission members, the fellow peers planning in DDA, and three of them stated that would be a priority recommendation from their point of view. One of them stated they would support either candidate, and the others I couldn't get a hold of. So those are the three data points. Council, the appointment is in your court. We need to fill that seat on our Planning and DDA Commission, so I wanted to make sure you had the information in the packet.
I'm going to make a motion to appoint Stephen Nickel to the Planning and DDA Commission.
We have a motion by Valentine. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Walden. Council, any discussion on this matter?
Doesn't this present Two motion requirements?
So that very important discussion to be had. He is a parent of the existing commission chair on planning and DDA. My understanding of the charter is that this would require a unanimous vote to proceed. So this would be a requirement for a unanimous vote for that appointment to be effective. City Attorney, please advise if you feel otherwise. I would suggest in that context, if City Attorney feels it's appropriate, you'd probably want to reflect that either in the discussion and or the motion.
For my charter review, I thought it required first a motion for us to waive the anti-nepotism rules that are stated in our charter. So I believe there's first be a motion to waive anti-nepotism rules for the greater good. Typically resolve, for reasons that we have no other candidates or it's something that we're willing to accept, waiving a requirement of our charter. I think there would be two motions. One would be, at least that was my read of it.
Yeah, City Attorney, please advise to make sure procedurally we're okay. I saw a unanimous vote in my reference.
I'm just quickly going through our language. I have not had a chance to look at this because I wasn't aware this was going to be a vote. So that said, Section 512 anti-nepotism states, unless the council shall by unanimous vote, comma, which vote shall be recorded as part of its official proceedings, comma, determine that the best interests of the city shall be served, comma, the following relatives of any elective or appointed are disqualified from holding it. So what I see is, as it relates to nepotism so far, is it's just that it requires a unanimous vote. So if a unanimous vote doesn't pass, then it doesn't pass. So you wouldn't be waiving it, it requires it. I don't see anything else at this point, but I have not had a chance to research it, so.
Okay, council, any further discussion on this matter?
Yeah, I wanted to see Brandon Dix get the opportunity to serve. He's, he ran for council. He's put his name in the hat for multiple positions. You've not considered him for an appointment or recommended him for an appointment yet. He doesn't have the same challenge with a nepotism waiving requirement. I think Steve Nichols is a fantastic person, and I think Steve would be great at any one of our positions up here. On council, mayor's office, treasurer, he's got all kinds of qualifications. He's a great person, great family. I'd also like to see Brandon have the opportunity, and that's my 2 cents.
Can I, it wasn't too long ago that Mr. Dix was accused of making some sexually explicit, abusive comments to one of our female staff. To even consider him for this is kind of a shock to me because everybody on this council is aware of it, and I think there was a police incident report filed about it. So I just can't understand why we would pick Mr. Cox for anything.
Oh, I'm sorry, you wouldn't want to pick me.
Mr. Dix, I'm sorry.
I could see how you can get mixed up. I think that the cancel culture of, somebody makes a comment, whatever the comment is or was alleged to be, and I think we've all probably said things or done things throughout the course of our lives, and to look at one isolated incident, which when you explain it like that, it sounds a lot worse than the way that I've heard it explained to me. So I don't give that any merit
I think he
whatsoever.
made some comments about parts of her body.
Council,
I think that was pretty bad, to be honest with you. And you know about it. Everybody up here knows about it. Why would we pick him for anything?
Yeah, I think,
Other than he's your friend.
I think you're out of line.
And I think you're out of line.
Yeah, you always do.
Council, any further discussion on this matter? Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
McNabb,
Yes.
Mulnar,
Yes.
Schumate,
Yes.
Valentine,
Yes.
Walden,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Cox.
No.
It's not unanimous.
All right, that motion does not carry because it required a unanimous vote and support. Is that correct, City Attorney?
That is correct. That's my reading of it.
Great. Council, without that motion carrying, we still are absent a seat on our planning and DDA.
Well, can we make a motion that we waive the nepotism for the good of the city?
That does not appear to be an option that I can find in our ordinances.
Okay.
Make the motion to appoint Brandon Dix.
A motion by Molnar for Brandon Dix. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Cox. Council, any discussion? I strongly do not support this recommendation. Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Mulnar.
Yes.
Schumate.
No.
Valentine.
No.
Walden.
No.
Wood.
I'm gonna say yes.
Cox.
Yes.
McNabb.
Yes.
Motion carried. Brandon Dix will be our newest appointed member of the Planning and DDA Commission. Thank you, council. With that, just to close out my report on a couple items, next item in my kind of overview of administrative updates is council, I'd recommend that we look at an RFP for IT services. At a high level, we have a professional service matrix. We are behind on our RFPs, obviously, as we look to fill our city administrator position and make sure we have support to advance said RFPs. Some recent priorities that have came in your court, as you're well aware, are our engineering services for long-term, as well as our city planner. I'd like to add the IT support to that list. Our IT support currently has an active contract until July of 2026, but I think it's astute for us to get ahead of that. And I'm glad to brief you on some of the background information as we prepare for that. So I'll ask for authorization in an upcoming meeting. Just wanted to plant the seed with you. And then the last two things, I have a couple updates at a high level. The bold in your packet are all the advancement of our strategic priorities. I know I sound like a broken record. I won't go into any detail on this other than to say we're getting a ton of great work done for the city of Gibraltar. And the advancements are in bold, and a special shout out to John and our department heads and council members that have leaned in to make so much possible in such a short period of time. And the last comment I have for you this evening is I sit on our DCC and DMA board. It's a meeting that includes my peers, fellow mayors across downriver community, as well as police and fire officials. And they have featured guests, a lot of elected officials at different layers of the broader government. And I got great news. So I'm going to give this to Clerk Tomasic, and she can help make sure we post this if deemed appropriate on our Facebook page. But the great news is that for our community, there is a Detroit River sediment remediation project. Simply put, it's about a 20-year forecasted project costing up to $1 billion. The Great Lakes Legacy Act, the Friends of the Detroit River, the EPA, and other regulatory bodies have unlocked funding. And what it will look like is taking polluted sediment at the bottom of our waterways and removing it. I think it's a phenomenal piece of news. I left that board meeting ecstatic because if there's one thing we know, we've done a lot to advance our environment and put guardrails around activities that would hurt our environment. But we've worked as a council and planning and DDA commission to put treatment facilities to help support the cleanup of history in our community. This is just yet another amazing step in that direction. And so just a huge shout out to the Friends of the Detroit River, to the EPA, to all the regulatory bodies and parties that were a part of this. I have a map. It's going to include all of our canalways and all of our Detroit River facing waterways here in the city of Gibraltar. So phenomenal news. Thought everybody would probably be as equally as excited as I am. I'm going to have somebody from their organization come and speak to us at council so we can get more information. I don't have any details on the specifics of when it starts and how it'll operationalize. And again, it's going to be a very long project, but to see the investment, to see a cleanup of this waterway further than what is already transpiring is quite a blessing, and I'm just really excited about it. So stay tuned for more.
Can I jump in from that?
Yeah, please.
So I've been in contact with our Representative Riley Linting on this topic, as well as Michigan Clean Water Group, which are partnered with Friends of the Detroit River. Right now, the organization that you're talking about there is willing to put together roughly 70% of the cost that is required for this work, which is a significant expenditure. What they're asking for local communities from us is a 30% match, which doesn't necessarily have to come from us. And I asked Riley Linting if her office would consider putting in a budgetary item in the state budget, which is deadlocked right now in Lansing, to try and appropriate money towards that 30% match. So we do have the opportunity to move this thing a little bit quicker, but it requires us to do some lobbying on our end with the county, with the state, and with any private organizations that have the ability to contribute, towards this project. But it's a huge step. And you look back at when some folks came in with some questions and concerns about the warrants for the backyards for people that were canal front. And the MDEQ warrant was asking for sedimentary samples from the basin behind people's homes that are waterfront. And this is what that was for. So when they took those samples and tested them, they were determining whether or not our canalways were impacted in the way in which they thought they were. And it is going towards unlocking some funding and some projects. But you're right, it is going to be a ways away. If any of us know people in Lansing or Wayne County to try and lobby them towards a contributory match, that's ultimately what we need to be kind of first in line to get these projects going here.
Love it. Council, that's all from me this evening. Any questions or comments for me before we turn over to our council reports? Councilman Valentine, floor is yours.
No report.
Any questions for Councilman Valentine? Councilwoman Wood, floor is yours.
Okay, very short meetings. Beautification, watering is winding down. We're starting to work on fall decorating. That's pretty much it for beautification. Our next meeting is October 6th, and cleanup day will be October 11th. And yes, there will be a dumpster, a large dumpster in the parking lot for residents that need that. That's it for beautification. The museum had a nice turnout yesterday. Some of the people stayed the entire time reading and asking questions, and I don't think I've ever had people stay like all 2 hours just to read and look at everything. So I was pretty happy about that. So it turned out to be a great day. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you for all the work you're doing. Any questions for Councilman Wood? Councilman Cox, floor is yours.
No report.
Any questions for Councilman Cox? Councilman McNabb.
Mayor and council. The last meeting for the Waterways Commission will be this Thursday at 6 o'clock. That's the only report I have for them. And the ADW is going to be having a Schools for Clean Water contest. That'll be coming in. I have to have the information in by the 30th. I believe we used Parsons for that in the last contest. There will be an art contest that also is part of the upcoming event for the ADW. So that's my job this week, to get with Parsons and the ADW and get it rolling.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Any questions for Councilman McNabb? Great. Councilman Molnar.
Thank you, Your Honor. Speaking of artwork, if you are going down the canals heading north out of the Gibraltar canals, we had an artist do some artwork on the Gibraltar gas docks. I wish we could put this up, and maybe I can send you the photo, Katie, to put it up on a website if we're so inclined. But this painting is a replication of a Dick Wickwam painting. And for those of you in the area that know Dick, he's been a waterfowl enthusiast and artist for many years. He's 80-something years old. His son Bob is very active in the waterfowl scene at Point Mulay and also at the Metro Parks. But this is a replicate of one of his favorite drawings, and it's on the Gibraltar Boatyard Gas Docks building. Pretty neat going through the canals and getting to see a staple of tradition. On the note of waterfowls, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, the 13th and 14th, is the Point Mulay Waterfowl Festival. And if you have an opportunity to come out, there's a dog jump, there is a kids contest for shooting, there's a lot of vendors. The Rotary is hosting a beer tent both days, Saturday and Sunday. There's live music, there's live auction, there's some really great prizes at the auction. Hoping that this is probably, one of the most attended Point Mulay waterfowl festivals that there is. So if anybody's looking for something to do this weekend, strongly encourage. Saturday is going to be the most entertaining day. Saturday, the 13th, and of course, Sunday, the 14th as well. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Awesome. Any questions for Councilman Molnar? Councilman Walden, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mayor. Rec Commission met last Tuesday. I was not able to attend the meeting due to conflicts, but it sounds like the meeting was centered around Fall Fest planning, which will be October 26th. And then the only other thing is this Saturday is the car show, so please come out and support them. As far as details, I won't go into too many details as we have Austin here to elaborate on that. So that's it for the Rec Commission. I did want to bring one other thing up. So I had a conversation with Chief Cindy Simon earlier today, and I wanted to recommend as a council that we maybe schedule a study session to sit down with Chief Simon or even the Public Safety Department as a whole and just get some education as a council. I think they bring the reports every week, but they can only provide us with so much information, and I think having a study session with them and get some deeper details on as far as succession planning and ideas for the department moving forward, I think that would benefit the department and council as a whole. I was looking at potentially scheduling it October 14th. I know the 13th is Columbus Day. I was thinking October 14th at 5 p.m. prior to the council meeting. If it's going to be rescheduled, I think it will be. And the reason for this is, we're knee-deep in looking for an administrator right now, so I don't want to add anything to us. And then the first week of October, which would be the 5th through the 11th or the 12th, is Fire Prevention Week, so I don't want to overwhelm them.
I love the suggestion. Clerk Tomasi, do you have any feedback on dates, just as Councilman Walden highlighted?
Our meeting will be the 13th, our regular meeting.
Okay.
That's not a holiday that we're closed for, so
Oh, okay.
we will be here the
We
13th.
could do it the
We do that day,
Yeah.
since we're already going to be together that evening. Council, are you all available then? I know that's a little in the future here, but the 13th of October, before our council meeting, we could start at like 5 o'clock or so? Did I hear that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. Just so we can do the session. Do you see more of a study session for informational sharing, or do you see any action requirements?
No, I don't see any action requirements, just kind of information exchanging.
Okay, so then if we wanted to, the motion would be in your court if you want to make it for a study session at 5 p.m. on October 13th and just make sure you're specific on the language to cover us and what we're going to be discussing, but it sounds like fire department operation.
Sure. So I'll make a motion to hold a study session on October 13th at 5 p.m. to discuss fire department succession planning and the future of the fire department as it pertains to Chief Cindy Simon's ideas.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second your motion.
Second by Molnar. Chief Bullard, are you supportive of this? Any feedback on your end here?
I'm in support of it.
Okay, awesome, great. Council, any further discussion on this matter? Fire Chief Simon, anything you want to share as we kind of wrap our heads around getting ready for that session?
Nothing I can think of at the moment.
Okay. Well, if there's no further discussion, which I'm not seeing any, Clerk Tomasic will have you call roll.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Molnar?
Yes.
Motion carried. Councilman Walden, I love it. Thank you for bringing that suggestion.
You're welcome. And that's the end of my report.
Any questions for Councilman Walden? All right, Parks and Recreation Director, floor is yours. Make sure that light's still green on there.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Got a couple things for you tonight. We have the last Music in the Park this Friday, 9/12, so I hope to see everybody there to end the Music in the Park season. It's been a good one, a lot of good bands, so hoping we end it on a high note. We also have the car show, as Councilman Walden mentioned, this Saturday, 9/13. We'll have music, food, 50/50 raffle by Kiwanis. It'll be a great time. So if you're a car enthusiast or not, you just want to see something cool, come check it out. It'll be a lot of fun. And then also, importantly, I have spoken to Wade Shows, and I should have a contract ready for the city attorney within the next 1 to 2 weeks.
Fantastic. Just kind of rewinding back to the first item, how Music in the Park seemed like we had really good attendance. maybe any perspective you have on that matter, at least the ones that I've been to.
Yeah, Music in the Park, I feel like every time it's been growing. It's been a lot of fun. We've got great food. I know Roundhouse has done almost every week. They have been really great. It just feels like kind of a natural build, and people come, enjoy it, and then come next time, and,
Okay.
word of mouth.
Awesome. Council, any feedback, questions for Parks and Recreation Director?
What time is the car show?
Car show is at noon to 4.
Any more details you want to share for those? I've obviously seen the flyer and other information, but any other details you want to share just for the community that's listening?
I think I covered it.
Okay.
Music, food, 12 to 4.
Cool.
Hope to see you there.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, flyers, you got flyers?
Don't start.
All right. Any questions? If not, we will turn over to our city attorney.
Nothing to report.
Any questions for our city attorney? All right, John, the floor is yours.
Okay. A motion to approve the tree and stump removal services at T&T Tree Service per unit prices based on tree diameter and stump diameter. This contract's to remove existing trees that are near power lines or larger, taller than the DPW can safely remove with equipment we own. It will also be on call, on emergency call for tree removal if needed. Contracts for 1 year. We've got a list of trees for them to start on. The estimated cost is around $20,000.
Council, motion would be in your court to award the tree and stump removal services to TNT Tree Services per the unit prices.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion from Walden to award. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Molnar. Council, any discussion on this matter?
Is this going to be a not-to-exceed contract of 20,000?
Well, I got it based on unit prices, and right now I got about 8 trees identified.
So you have the estimate, obviously mentioned. Council, do you want to revise that to include a up to, Councilman Cox? Is that what I'm hearing, maybe?
Yeah, I'm asking if this is a not-to-exceed amount, or are we open to additional costs if there's more trees?
Be open up additional cost.
So, or do we make a motion not to exceed, and then if we have to reconvene on this contract?
I think it's council's preference. I think we could do an up to, and then we could reconvene, or I'm sure, John, you could commit to making sure that council's appraised to
Yes.
spend and completion and making sure we're up to date. But council, if you want to provide upside protection on that threshold, we could add a up to language.
Yeah, I'll amend my motion to not to exceed more than $20,000.
Aye, second.
Second by Molnar. Councilman Cox, council, any other discussion? John, is that good with you?
Yes.
Thank you for making all that happen. Clerk Tomasic, roll is yours.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Mulnar?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes, motion carried. John, back to you.
Okay, my second action item is motion to award exterior painting work at the City Hall complex to JLR Group for the amount of $12,000. JLR was the low bidder on a bid package for repainting the existing EIFS on the building. Bids were received. Scope of the project is repainting, I call it the lighthouse. The doghouse is on the roof, and the existing vents on the ends of the building. This work would be started after the roof is complete. Low bid was $12,000. That was out of the DDA bond, and I've got the quotes attached. Prices range from $12,000 to $60,000.
Oh, that's not out of the DDA bond,
That was part of that.
the rewrite.
Here comes with that, Finance Director McKeown.
I think they told me that they didn't know if they could do painting in the rewrite, though.
Okay.
So, but I mean, if it has to be done, it has to be done, but I might have to adjust our buildings and grounds or see if we can pull it from DDA.
Well, if that item requires further clarification, that's a really important point. John, what's the time sensitivity to this that would allow you to perhaps confirm that before we?
Well, the roof's probably gonna start next week,
Okay. And I'm assuming you would do this thereafter.
after the roof, yes.
So perhaps I might make a suggestion, John, if you're open to it, why don't you make sure we land the plane with Finance Director McEwen on fund sourcing, and then we can authorize it at the next council meeting, which won't delay any execution, if that sounds
Okay.
good. Since the work's already been done, we'll just put it in the next packet.
All right,
Does that sound good to you?
yep.
No, it's good. We want to, especially with the bond purpose, we have to make sure we're airtight, so thank you for the flag. And that way, we need to get the work done regardless, but you'll have a better understanding of fund coding.
Okay, where we're gonna get it from? Yep.
Yeah, does that sound good?
Yep.
All right, so then no action on that one, and we'll just replicate that info with the finance
Next one.
perspective, next meeting. You already got the work done.
All right.
Thank you, sir. Anything else in your mind, John, for council?
Well, we got, roof is gonna start, it won't start late this week, it'll be started next week, it'll be done by the end of the month.
It's exciting.
Councilman Cox and I met with L's Asphalt Paving. We worked out a schedule with him for paving at the community center and city hall. Working on, I just sent a list over to GV for concrete repairs to get started on,
Yes.
and we still have some work to do on the rest of it. DPW, lawn mowing is slowing down. Starting to get ready for winter. They'll start flushing hydrants here in a couple weeks.
That's exciting.
We're gonna have meters on them as we're flushing them.
Fantastic.
That's about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for everything you're doing.
Okay.
Council, any questions for John this evening?
No, yeah, thanks for keeping things motivated and rolling.
Yeah, appreciate it a lot.
Yes, special thanks.
Above and beyond, great work. With that being said, if there's no questions for John, we will turn over to Clerk Tomasic.
All right, thank you. Just a couple reminders, I'm gonna throw a lot of dates out here, but reminder that our fall citywide garage sale is going to be not this coming weekend, but next weekend, September 19th through the 21st. There's no fee to participate, but if you just want to get a little more traffic, you can sign up to be on the map, and we'll put you on the map, and those will be available the day of the sale. We have our annual Shred Day, and this year we're adding e-recycling to the Shred Day event. That's going to be on Saturday, October 18th, here at City Hall, out in the parking lot, from 10 a.m. to noon. And then we have our local election coming up. Election Day is November 4th. We'll have 3 days of early voting for that, October 30th, 31st, and November 1st for early voting at the community center. And absentee ballots for the local election will be going out in about 2 weeks. So those are my updates.
Awesome updates. Thank you in advance for all the hard work that goes behind such awesome elections in the city of Gibraltar. Any questions for Clerk Tomasic? Treasurer Fonte, floor is yours.
No report, your Mayor.
Any questions for Treasurer Fonte? Finance Director McEwen, floor is yours.
In your guys' packet, I have the investment portfolio, the update on it. I showed a breakdown of where all the funds are located, our current interest rates, and how much we are holding within each fund. An important thing to remember with fund accounting is that you have to have a legit reason to transfer something from one fund into another. So when we're talking about how we're saving like all this money in the water fund, it's not so easy to put that into a general fund, so to speak. There has to be a way. That's why I provide that Excel spreadsheet to everybody to show how I managed to reconcile all the money that goes back and forth. So that's just something important to remember, and that's why we have all these different funds, and they're all for each different category. I broke down how much interest we have earned. At the end of August, we had $71,900 worth of interest spread out over all of our funds, with $24,900 being in general funds. So I think that's a pretty good start to the year. And does anybody have any questions comments, concerns, any different format you want with this, or?
I think you do a fantastic job and appreciate you and all that make it possible to see numbers like that.
Okay. And then the big report will be in October.
Looking forward to it. Council, any questions or comments for Finance Director McEwen? All right, Police Chief and Director of Public Safety Bullard, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Since the last council meeting, the police department responded to 117 calls for service, had 18 incident reports, 1 arrest, 5 traffic citations, and 7 Detective Bureau investigations. With Gibraltar Police Department news, the Gibraltar School District is now in session. I'm looking forward to the 2025-2026 school year. Please reach out to School Resource Officers Lieutenant Trush or Officer Dan Sampson if you need assistance. From the July 28th power outage, the 4 switches have been installed in the server room. One was in the police department server room upstairs. The building internet, phones, and computers are all back up running. We are having some minor issues with the phones, and I'm hoping to have that resolved by tomorrow. Also, here in a week, Officer Jacob Bates will be attending the motor carrier school, the 15th through the 18th. All Traffic Solutions Report. It's in its 3rd week of the study. I will bring the 4-week study results on Bayview to the council on September 22nd. Also included in my packet is the Ordinance Officer's Report and the Records Clerk Report. I do have 5 action items. Action item A, since 2022, the Police Department has utilized the All Traffic Solution speed sign to conduct traffic studies in the city. The system has proven to be an effective tool in addressing traffic concerns and promoting public safety. What's nice about the sign, it collects accurate data and reporting. So I am requesting a motion to renew the annual subscription with All Traffic Solutions in the amount of $1,500.
Council motion is in your court.
Motion to renew the annual subscription with All Traffic Solutions for $1,500.
We have a motion by Walden. Is there a second?
Second.
Ladies first, I heard Wood. Council, any discussion on this matter? Clerk Tomasic will have you call roll whenever you're ready.
Wood?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Mulner?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Motion carried. Chief, back to you.
Thank you. Action item B, on June 18th, AT&T reached out to the city stating they were updating the building phone lines from POTS to ABBA lines and requested that we reach out to our alarm vendors. Our building has 2 separate phone lines for our alarms with Wyandotte Alarm Company. The lines are located at the municipal building and the community center. The City Hall, Fire Department, Police Department, and Community Center alarm has not been set in years or has been maintained. I did some research and determined that we pay Wyandotte Alarm annually for their services that we are not utilizing. I scheduled an appointment with Wyandotte Alarm and had them on site on June 30th. It was determined several keypad zones, control panels needed to be replaced on the system. It was recommended that we go cellular for quicker response times as well as not needing the AT&T lines that Amy just scheduled to have replaced. I received 2 quotes to go cellular, and Actron Systems was the lowest. I would recommend Actron Systems as they have a 24-hour support for our building alarms. Actron Systems is also the city's new camera vendor. My goal is to start setting the community center alarm when we're not utilizing it so we can utilize the system. I will also have 3 wireless panic alarms installed in City Hall. So I did reach out to a 3rd vendor, and they were not responsive. So the 2 other bids are in your packets. I am requesting to contract Actron System as the new alarm vendor for the municipal building and community center in the amount of $3,063.79.
Council, the motion will be in your court for that authorization as the alarm vendor of Actron Systems.
I make the motion to approve Actron as the new alarm vendor in that amount stated.
Clerk Tomasic, do you have what you need? Great. We have a motion by Molnar. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Wood. Council, any discussion?
I think it's important that we have a vendor who, if they notice that we're not utilizing a system, that they offer training and offer assistance and don't just send us bills. So,
Agreed.
I think it's a good time for shaking it up.
Thank you.
Well said.
Will Actron be monitoring our system now, so if an alarm activates?
24 hours, 7 days a week.
Okay, so we'll get notification here now?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Just hats off to the integrated technology evolution approach, Chief. Appreciate it a lot. All right, any further discussion? Clerk Tomasic, a roll is yours.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Mulnar?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Motion carried. Chief, back to you.
Action item C, ID Networks reached out to the police department in May of 2025 advising that the fingerprint LS-Scan 500 fingerprint scanner is at the end of its life and will no longer be supported as of December 21st, 2025. It should be noted that we received the LiveScan palm printer used several years ago from the Wayne County Juvenile Division. It was a very old unit, but had the palm printing technology. As you also aware, Windows 10 will no longer be supported on October 25th, 2025. With ID Networks, they will provide a new Windows 11 PC at no cost. I will be applying for Bernie grant funds for the purchase to cover the ID Networks equipment. We currently have $24,475.31 left in the grant. I am requesting to purchase a LiveScan fingerprint scanner, Windows 11 PC tower, and maintenance agreement from ID Networks with Bernie grant funds in the amount of $10,035.
Council motion would be in your court.
I'll make that motion.
Motion. Katie, do you have what you need?
Yes.
Second.
Clerk Tomasic has a second. Council, any discussion on this matter? Chief, thanks for advocacy on the grant fund utilization to save internal cost incurrence. Appreciate it.
So, Chief, would this make Gibraltar then a LiveScan vendor going forward?
We're not a vendor. Obviously, we do fingerprints for the school district and arrests or identification builds.
Okay.
But we are not a vendor.
Okay. I know in the past for background checks, extensive background checks that required the LiveScan, Flat Rock was a vendor, and like out in Southfield was the private entity that does that. But so it won't put us in that category then?
It will not.
Understood. Thank you.
Any further discussion on this matter? Clerk Tomasic will give you the floor for a roll.
McNabb?
Yes.
Mulnar?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
Motion carried. Chief, back to you.
Thank you. Action item D, at 13238 Wright Street, they were contacted via letter by the ordinance officer on May 14th of 2025. The resident was notified of the excessive tarp, storage containers, boxes, trash, tires, blight, junk, and rodent infestation, tall grass, and an abandoned junk vehicle on the property. This violates city ordinance 40-63, 64, 65, 26-97, 36-155, and Michigan compiled laws 257, 252A. On July 6, 2025, the resident failed to comply with the warning, was issued a misdemeanor citation. The resident failed to respond to the 33rd District Court and was issued a warrant for their arrest. The resident has still failed to respond or comply with the city ordinance and violations. Ordinance Officer LaCourse reached out to the city attorney, and the city attorney requested that we bring this case before council for approval to file a circuit court civil action against the homeowner. I'm requesting a motion for City Attorney Baloney to file a circuit court civil action for nuisance blight abatement against the resident at 13238 Wright Street.
Council motion is in your court to authorize City Attorney Bologna to file a circuit court civil action for nuisance blight abatement against the resident.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by Wood. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Walden. Council, any discussion on this matter? City Attorney, thank you. Clerk Tomasic will have you please call roll.
Mulnar?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Wood, Walden?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Motion carried. Chief, back to you.
My fifth action item for the evening. On July 28th, I've said this numerous times, the city building sustained internal system damages due to the storm. The storm took out the West Shore Services weather siren. Herkimer Radio was dispatched to the building and temporarily fixed the system. Per Herkimer Radio, the system is old, and this is only a temporary fix as it's outdated. The West Shore Services weather siren, which there's two in the city, are controlled by a UHF radio and antenna that's in the basement of the server room. The UHF controller radio in the server room were not graded when the two sirens were updated in the city several years ago. Due to the age of the outdated system, it is recommended that we upgrade the radios as well as the siren controller, which is an old Motorola handset telephone and dispatch. I'll be bringing an action item to council for that controller for the weather siren on September 22nd. I'm requesting a motion for approval for Herkimer Radio to move the UHF radio and antenna from the basement server room to dispatch for the upcoming weather siren controller upgrade in the amount of $1,391.82.
Council motion would be in your court for the approval of the Herkimer Radio to move.
Move the antenna.
Is there a motion by council?
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion by Walden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Cox. Council discussion?
What was the price tag again? I'm sorry.
$1,391.82.
Just want to use this opportunity because Chief has been doing a lot, and as reflected in the packet, tackling a lot of different areas, including when storms hit us and action is needed and when broader technology needs to be implemented. So just Chief, thank you again for tackling this amongst everything you do in your day job. Clerk Tomasic will have you call roll whenever you're ready.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood? Yes. Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Mulnar?
Yes.
Motion carried. Chief, back to you.
I did not make it to J, but I am all set. Thank you.
Well, valiant effort. And I want to give a shout out because somebody showed me the photo of Trush and Sampson on their first day of school, which I thought was absolutely epic. So congrats to Gibraltar School District and the start of school, and thank you to Trush and Sampson for holding it down.
Thanks.
With that being said, any questions for Chief Bullard? Great. Fire Chief Simon, the floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Our report period was August 21st through September 3rd. In that time frame, we had 18 EMS calls for service, 1 fire call for service, for a total of 19 in that 14-day reporting period. In that period, we had 1 mutual aid from Rockwood, 1 mutual aid from Brownstown, and 1 auto aid to Woodhaven. We do have 2 anniversaries that we're celebrating this September. Sergeant Jones has 11 years, and firefighter Percy has 10 years of service, so we congratulate them on their commitment to the department. Scrolling down, I have 1 action item for council tonight. I have a request for council approval of the Gibraltar Fire Department Draft Uniform Policy 15-19 as an addendum to the 2025 approved wage and pay document. During the most recent revision of the GFD wage and pay document, council approved a uniform allowance intended to cover replacement or supplemental uniform items as purchased by members after their initial issuance. Following the recent purchase of uniform items for the fire chief, questions arose regarding what should be considered part of the city's responsibility for initial or promotional uniform issuance versus what is covered by their annual allowance. To address this, we wrote the drafted Uniform Policy 15-19 as an addendum to the wage and pay document. This policy provides clear guidance for the issuance, furnishment, and reimbursement of uniforms to ensure consistency, accountability, and fiscal responsibility while maintaining professional appearance by all members. This was submitted to Chief Bullard prior to being submitted as an action item. So as you'll see, 15-19 is attached.
Thank you, Chief Simon. Council, the motion would be in your court to approve the GFD Draft Uniform Policy 15-19 as an addendum to the 2025 approved wage and pay document.
I'll make the motion.
We have a motion by Walden. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Molnar. Council, any discussion on this matter?
This doesn't include turnout gear. This is just uniform?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other discussion on this matter?
This is for the dress uniform, correct? Not the T-shirts or anything like that? This is just
Correct.
okay.
Any further discussion? Clerk Tomasic will have you call roll whenever you're ready.
Valentine?
Yes.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Mulner?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you, Fire Chief Simon. Back to you.
All right, I do have 4 communications to share with you. Some very exciting news. The first is we have the 2025 firefighter 1 and 2 students. I'm pleased to report we have 6 personnel currently attending Fire 1 and 2 certification programs that started just this past week. This program, or these programs, represent the next step in professional development for our members, and it'll enhance our operational readiness. We have 3 cadets enrolled at the DCTC, so Downriver Career Technical Consortium, 1 member attending at Wayne County Community College, and 2 going through the Grosse Ile Fire Department program. Thanks to grant funding, so through the DCC, Downriver Career Consortium, and State of Michigan Smoke Program funds, all costs associated with tuition and fees have been covered. So roughly calculated, it's about $15,600 savings to the city,
It's phenomenal.
resulting
Thank
in
you.
6 certified firefighters, hopefully by the end of February of next year.
That's incredible. Thank you.
Yeah, so that was our first communication. Next, we have the 2023 EMT.
Oh, sorry, Finance Director McEwen had something for you. if you don't mind.
Apologies.
I'm so sorry. Can I
Grace.
just ask a quick question? I wanted to know if we needed to communicate, like where they had to bill, because we've had so many issues with Wayne County Community College in the past.
Right. The way this was set up, the funds were paid directly to the vendors, so there's
Okay.
no, we pay it or we're expected to pay, there's no council action items necessary, so that saved us steps in the process.
Okay. I was just concerned because of,
No, after the last meeting and the last action item, I understand your concern.
okay,
But we don't have to worry about that this time. I've confirmed that this has been taken care of, so
perfect.
Thank you.
nice and easy for us this time.
Thank
All
you.
No worries. Any other questions on that one?
All good?
Excellent. 2023 EMT Class Star Award. Yet again, our EMS program has been recognized by the state of Michigan for Superior Testing Achievement Recognition, or STAR, from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Bureau of Emergency Preparedness, EMS, and Systems of Care for our 2023 course. Congratulations to everyone involved, the students, and our other instructors, but especially Instructor Coordinator Patricia Cunningham for running such a fantastic program. So I'd like to file that communication.
That's fantastic achievement, by the way. Congrats to you in the department.
Thank you. Any questions on the STAR Award? Right, another communication, we do have Sergeant Jones submitted her intent to join the Downriver Mutual Aid Dive Team. As stated earlier, she has been on the department for 11 years now, very committed to our department and its mission. We are still in the information gathering phase. She has been approved to attend the informal interview, which is going to be at the end of this month, held at Grosse Ile Fire Department. So just submitting this as I've received her letter of intent. Further information will follow as I receive it.
It's exciting. I hear a lot of updates at the DMA, and so it's cool to see one of our members of our department joining the force.
Very good. Any questions on that? All right, lastly, and very excitedly, I'd like to share with everyone, we do have our open house, our annual Fire Prevention Week open house on Saturday, October 11th, 2025, in conjunction with National Fire Prevention Week, as stated by Councilman Walden. This year's theme is Charge into Fire Safety regarding lithium-ion batteries. We will be posting more information, times, activities, et cetera. Once we have that finalized, we'll put it out for social media on our page as well as the city's pages. So please look out for more information and save that date. We'd love to see you all there. Love to see council representation there.
Absolutely.
Good time. And that concludes my report.
I love the communications. Appreciate everything you're doing for the department. Just hats off to the members of the department who are making it all happen every day.
Thank you.
Any questions for Fire Chief Simon?
I have one, Mayor.
Yeah, please.
Chief Simon, there's a MDHHS letter directed to Daniel McCure on the back of.
I think that's a STAR
it.
letter.
Oh, yes, the STAR letter.
Yeah, is that just a miscue there, or?
Chief Markier was listed as our program sponsor this previous year, because we were transitioning between
Yeah,
fire chiefs
okay,
at the
that
time.
answers that then.
So it is accurate, he was our program sponsor, but through the
I
city of
just,
Gibraltar.
I didn't know if the Lansing Department knew who we were, or the players involved, so.
Understood.
I have a comment, just a kudos to the folks on the fire department that responded. We had to call them on Saturday to the boatyard, and from dispatch, talking to Terry, and Sean was the first on site in the ambulance, and quickly joined by Mike, and then Ellen and Clint. All of them exceptionally professional, cool, calm, collected, and their advice was firm. You know, I know Clint was our DPW MVP this year, and all four people that were on site were just absolutely terrific. And you know, just wanted to say thank you to all of them. Everybody in the organization, the process was very professional. Thank you.
That's appreciated. I'll pass that along. Thank you.
Awesome. Any further discussion or comments for Fire Chief Simon? Thank you for everything you're doing. With that being said, we are going to unfinished business for which there is none, new business for which there is none, table and referred items for which there is none. So let's get back to our public. Members of public, the floor is yours for any comments you may have. Just make sure that light's green for me.
Wayne Brandon, 30490 South Gibraltar Road. Rains was taken over by Ohio, and they just assumed the name of Rains. And it seems like they've dropped the ball numerous times, but they've always wanted their money. And I think it should be looked into before we spend $32,000. If they were responsible for these retention centers to be notified to the city. Because, you know, we've been spending quite a bit of money, and I know they got like $600-some thousand when they built the bridge and stuff. And they submitted it, 3 days before it was due or something? So I think the city should fight back. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wayne. Are there any additional members of public that wish to address council this evening? Well, thank you all for being here, and with that, council will be looking for a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Walden, is there a second? Second by Wood. Clerk Tomasic, please call roll.
Walden?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
Cox?
Yes.
McNabb?
Yes.
Mulner?
Yes.
Schumate?
Yes.
Valentine?
Yes.
Have a wonderful evening, everybody. Thank you so much. You spoke with the assessor.